Welcome back to What We Hear Studios. Today we're going to be replacing this floorboard on the 2017 Honda Ruckus. Follow along. So, the tricky part to this is this metal bracket right behind the steering column. And once you lay your floorboard back down, you can see at the very front, up near the feet, there are two little plastic slots that this metal bracket clips through, allowing you to then screw the under part of the floorboard through into the metal bracket to hold the whole thing together. And this did take me a while to figure out, and it is pretty much the only hard part of this floorboard reinstall. So follow along, and I'm going to go step by step. I try to get as close up with the camera as I can. So, you see this metal plate right here? It's alright. This metal plate right here slides up and out. I don't know if that's the best visual. This is the only hard part about putting this floorboard back in. It gave me a little bit of trouble, but you got this metal plate right here. And this plate goes over, this is the floorboard piece the big huge piece that covers the whole bottom of the scooter. I just put it back on, and this metal bracket will fall off if you don't have pressure on it. So you just take this little, you see that little, shit, that's not very easy to see. It goes in the middle of the fork, and and it slides. I hope that's visible. It slides right, see that? Slides right behind this part right here of the floorboard, this floorboard piece. And then this is the front piece of the fairing or the tree or whatever you want to call it. And it gets, these screws are pretty easy to see when you're taking them out, but this screw goes right through here, through the floorboard, and then into that metal plate, and it's what holds everything together from the front, at least. And this is all, see, it's really important that hole be in the right place, or that screw won't hit it at the right angle. Okay, see, there's a little, okay, there it goes. There's a little hole. Yeah. There's a little hole at the bottom. This is the metal plate right here. God, that's terrible. Oh, that's so hard to see. This is the metal plate right here. Damn. Right here is the metal plate. Here is the floorboard piece. This piece comes up, it's all one piece. This metal bracket, after you unscrew this screw from the front right here, this metal plate will be loose and just hanging there. So when you put the floorboard in, you're gonna pick the metal plate up, slide it. As you can see, it's now behind the floorboard piece. It goes behind, there's a little slot at the bottom that it sits in, and then the screw goes through this front fender guard, well, not really, the front piece of the battery box, through the back, and then it actually threads into that metal plate. That is where the screw actually threads into, and it's tight. So if you undo all of these bolts, and then this thing feels like it's stuck right here in the front, it's probably because you haven't come around and unscrewed these screws right here. And there's only two of them, but you cannot pull it out without them because they go into that metal plate. This is kind of an ingenious little system, honestly, for interlocking all these pieces. But the first time I took it apart, I certainly was confused. It took me a good 10 minutes to figure that out. So, let's see if I can really show it a little better. So floorboard piece right here, middle plate. This is really difficult. Alright, floorboard piece right here, metal plate, just like on the other side, identical, right here, right there. That's the metal plate. And if it wasn't screwed into the other side, and it wasn't still, see this middle piece of the frame right here, it kind of has a bracket where it goes in almost like a square and then back out. So we'll kind of hang there, but if you put just the right kind of pressure on it, it will actually come out. And this metal piece is quite a pain. Yeah, I screwed it into the other side because I was trying to make it obvious to see, but I really probably shouldn't have done that because now I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on that side. So, unscrewing the other side. Now you'll be able to see it jiggle quite a bit. Same metal plate right there. Has to go up and over this floorboard piece. See right there. That piece has to go up. The piece, right, see it? That's the metal plate. And it was right behind this piece, and now it's right in front. So it slides down in there, just like that. And then this piece screws through the floorboard piece into the metal plate, which is what holds all that stuff together. I have not found anything on YouTube that explains that. So, likely somebody is gonna be like, that's what it is? I know I just about was, would have been, whatever. If I can get this screw in the right place. It's not the easiest thing to reassemble in the world, quite frankly. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. Once you have it over both sides, it's just a matter of getting them all to line up. There it goes. So, once you feel it tight, it's good. It doesn't need to be tightened much at all. It's just the fact that it goes through all three pieces. Now the screw fell out. And these are the only screws on the whole scooter that kind of look like wood screws. It kind of helped me, I heard somebody say that. So now that that piece is, now that it's attached right here on both sides, it's really just a matter of putting the battery cover on, bolting all these bolts back down to the floorboard, and then putting the seat back on. This is the only hard part of getting that bottom piece off. And it's actually pretty difficult, actually. Since I got this bag, whoa. So I got this bag on here. Mine's somewhat tricky, but not really. You see that tachometer wire is going, it's going from that bag straight down through the battery cover, and then underneath, from the battery cover down to the floorboard, underneath all the way through there. This is the little compartment I was talking about to get to the spark plug, and you can see there's that tachometer wire right there, and it goes up over that. I'm not sure why I did it that way, but it won't hurt anything because it's long enough. I was about to go up to Honda and buy these truss screws for this battery box when I decided to see if I had any that fit. And the first four that I brought out here just to see, I brought a whole set of screws out here. But the first four I tried just miraculously were the exact right size. And they even told me at Honda all they had was silver ones. So I literally almost paid $6 for bolts that I have exact copies of. Which was pretty cool because we were able to get some Mexican corn that day that my wife has now come up with a recipe to make. There we go. Pop that right on there. I've got like 4 videos now to edit. That corn one. This one comes soon.
Perhaps we need to take the scooter or get the car insurance to get up and get some fresh corn. And do an accurate taste test with canned versus frozen versus fresh.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Like Josh Wiseman.
So those 4 screws I just put in the battery box are here, here, and the same on the other side. And then you got 4 screws in the floorboard, 4 screws in the seat cover floorboard, and then the seat itself. All 4 of these floorboard bolts are very long. They're the longest ones for this part, probably on the whole thing, honestly. I think these are 10 millimeter. Yep. Yeah. You never want to over tighten this kind of bolts because this is just holding on to plastic molding. So on the one hand, you probably can't really over tighten them, but at the same time, it doesn't really do anything to over tighten them. I mean, they're not holding anything to the frame or anything. It's just this, literally this cover. And I saw a really cool video where a dude had cut it right here on both sides. So you could take these 4 bolts off and take this piece out, or take these 4 bolts off and take this piece out, but it didn't have to be both. So you could get to like fuel tank, fuel pump, all the stuff under here, or all the stuff under here, but without having to take the battery box or the seat off too. And honestly, I told myself I was going to do that next time I had them all off, but it's a little bit more of a pain than I would have thought, because I have to use like a jigsaw and be really careful not to cut in the wrong place, or I could end up with this. It could end up with something not matching up right here, and it could rattle really bad. That would really be about the only casualty. Would be, you know, annoying sound, but that's pretty annoying. So it's a 10 and a 12. So the whole floorboard piece is back on. The tachometer is awesome. I love it. It's probably the best $14 I've spent in a long time. And the seat is more or less a joke to put back on. I don't know why I took these bolts out. These bolts stay in there. Right here. You can see there's just a bracket piece right there. And these bolts are, last time I did it, I left them in there. And so the seat just slides over it. But for some reason, I forgot this time. And you don't really want to, like I just stupidly did, you don't really want to tighten these all the way, or you end up with one that doesn't fit. But I'm going fast. Oh, this is that one. That same one, I swear. Dude, really? Why would you be so stupid? It's the same thing that happened last time.